founder of American Majority, Ned Ryun. All right, Ned, what jumps out at you?
Well, either the FBI and the DOJ are grossly incompetent or grossly politicized under Merrick Garland and Christopher Wray. And I don't think they were grossly incompetent, Jesse. I think they were grossly politicized. Just to reiterate some of the comments just made by your previous guests, I think based off the evidence I'm seeing coming out, I think the FBI probably knew the identity of the bomber back in 2021, but it didn't fit the narrative. This was narrative shaping to hide the true identity of the bomber because it wasn't the narrative they wanted. They wanted to be able to say this was somehow, they wanted to at least let the false perception out there that this might have been an angry white supremacist who was a MAGA supporter to help shape that narrative, even though they knew that was false. Because let's remind people, Christopher Wray and Merrick Garland were heavily politicized, and they weaponized both of those entities against political opponents. So they don't want this inconvenient narrative out there that it might have been a young black bomber and not an angry white MAGA supporter. And I think it gave him cover to be able to go and persecute and prosecute a lot of these other people who quite frankly, were maybe guilty of a misdemeanor of trespassing on January 6th. And that was their focus. Their focus was to destroy political opponents, not to actually get to the truth of the matter.
You say that you believe that Biden's FBI probably knew who this guy was. Would Cash's team be able to see kind of traces of FBI guys under Joe Biden getting that information and then closing the book and backing off? Would there be evidence that they discovered who this guy was?
Yeah, but let's not forget, Jess, remember those bags of classified information that were at a hidden skiff at the FBI? We don't know what the previous FBI was doing or not doing in trying to destroy or hide evidence that somehow Cash and Dan have stumbled upon. So it might be there, it might not be there. But just knowing how Wray and Garland operated, I think they probably knew. I think they probably knew pretty quickly in 2021 who the actual bomber was. It just was not a politically convenient truth that they wanted to put out there. It wasn't what they wanted. Their point was not to find the truth. It was to destroy political opponents.
I mean, the Republicans have to get Wray and Garland in to testify ASAP.
Absolutely. But the other thing I want to point out is just looking at the gross politicization of the FBI and the DOJ, I have real questions about what are we doing right now in this administration. I think this administration is here to really examine the true scope and size of government in various departments and agencies. And if the FBI, by the end of this administration, still has the same power and scope that it had in the previous administration, I think we failed. I think the Trump administration will have failed the American people, because when we're out of power and the left comes back, there's nothing to prevent them from doing the exact same thing and abusing these institutions and weaponizing them against political opponents. And I think the Trump administration really needs to start thinking about how they're going to reimagine government, including the FBI, downsizing, removing counterintelligence, maybe downsizing to only be white-collar crime. But we've got to think about reforming these institutions while we have the power to do so.
Yeah, because the next Democrat FBI is going after you.
100%. 100%.
Yeah, you're done. These could be the last interviews you do on Jesse Watters Primetime until the next Democrat administration. Let's enjoy it while it lasts.
That's right.
Thank you so much. Have a good one.
Thanks, Jesse.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.